I like history. I'm a bit of a history buff. Which, by the way, that is early onset Republican. It's a very serious warning sign. If you're a white dude in your 20s and 30s and you're like, I can't stop reading about World War II, it's coming, bro. You might not be Republican right now. You might be young and cool and liberal. You probably think you're safe, dude. You're not. It doesn't happen overnight. It takes time. You think your dad wanted to be Republican? You think he got out of high school and he was like, all right, now it's time to be a prick about everything. No, dude, it takes time. Like, I'm not a Republican right now, but I can feel it. It grows. I gotta fight it every day, like a fucking werewolf. I'll just be watching TV out of nowhere, why are black guys in every commercial? Mermaids are white. I'm 35, that's important to me. They are white, and I'm not joking on that one. No, I like history, so it's coming. I'm not a Republican now, but it's coming. And when I'm on the road, I travel every fucking weekend. There's nothing to do during the day, and then at night you do stand-up. But during the day, I travel every week, and sometimes I like to visit like historical places throughout the country. So a couple summers ago, don't laugh at that. Shut up, dude. It's not lame at all. I just laughed at me from the balcony. Dork. So a couple summers ago, I was in Washington, D.C., and I went and I visited Mount Vernon. I went and I visited George Washington's house. Turns out it was George Washington's plantation. Shucks. Dude, I get in there. I'm the only one there. It was the first summer during COVID. I'm the only visitor there. It's me, and if you've been there before, you know, it's 15 reenactors that don't break character. They stayed. Everyone else was in the 1700s. I was the only guy there. Like, I signed up for the tour, and my tour guide was Martha Washington. It wasn't her. It was some fat bitch. I saw right through it. I signed up for the tour, so me and Martha have to hang out together for 15 minutes to see if anybody else signs up for, like, the 3 o'clock tour or whatever. Of course they don't. I gotta make small talk with a woman that won't stop pretending to be from the 1700s. It's fucking insane. What do you say? I was just out there with her, like, where's George Washington? She's like, oh, the general? He won't be joining us today. He's in his chambers. It's just you and I. I was like, wait. You trying to fuck me? Never broke. No one broke. Enough times gone by, I've had enough to think about why nobody would break character while I was there. And for real, I'm fairly certain they thought that I was a special needs man. Like, they all got together and they were like, look, this is obviously a big day for this guy. Nobody break character. Let's make it magic for him. Like, they watched me park my car when I got there. And when I got out, they were like, oh. It's one of the driving ones. Look at him. It was also during COVID, and the mask did not do me any favors. If you can only see my eyes. I got the eyes for it. It was sunny out. It also didn't help I walked up to my tour guide, like, where's George Washington? He's like, oh, you're a big guy. I was like, yeah. So me and Martha go in for the tour. Due to COVID restrictions at the time, we were not allowed to speak indoors. All right, so for $36, me and a woman dressed like Martha Washington fucking dead silently walked through for a full hour. You need to be able to talk for this tour to have any value at all. There's nothing to read in there. It's just old chairs and shit. Me and this lady went room to room for an hour, and this was the tour. I was in the corner of every room, just not getting it. We get outside when we were done. She's like, do you have any questions? I was like, yeah, what the fuck was that? What was that? What'd you and me just do? So that was the end of me and Martha. I go off by myself. I start looking around. Like I said, it was the first summer during COVID, all right? So we're in the middle, we're in the middle of tearing down statue season. And I was at a Founding Fathers plantation during all of that. So I wanted to check out the slave quarters. I want to see what all the fuss was. No, whatever. Fuck you guys. What'd you guys do? What'd you guys do that summer? Fucking post black squares on your Instagram? Is that what you did? How dare you judge me? How dare you? I was there. Boots on the ground at a Founding Fathers plantation. Growing, learning as a white. Going down. For real though, I was in there. I was in George Washington's slave quarters. By the way, the first thing you do when you walk into George Washington's slave quarters is you go, ooh. Somehow worse than I thought they were gonna be. It's rough, dude. That guy had a fucking dungeon. For real, you didn't know? I'm in there, and I'm by myself, and I'm like, you remember that time, it was a tense fucking time in this country, and I'm in there by myself like, Jesus fucking Christ. And then I hear some footsteps coming down the path behind me, and now blocking the only exit of the room was a slave reenactor. They have those there. And he did not break character. I turned around, he was like, oh, well, hello there, sir. I was like, Jesus Christ, dude, please, you don't have to do the character. I'd give anything for you to not do that character. He didn't break. He was good. He was like, look at those clothes. You must be from the future. Hello, time traveler. I was like, no, I'm from right now. What are you doing out? Come here. No, I did not say that. Obviously, I didn't fucking say that. I didn't say a word. I was frozen. I was paralyzed with white guilt. I didn't say a word. And he knew what he was doing. He, for real, he knew what he was doing, dude. He wasn't giving me the George Washington tour. He was just drilling me with shit I didn't want to hear. He was hitting me with the what? You remember that time, tense time. That guy walks in there and sees me. I know what I look like. I know exactly. I've got the body type of a guy who says, let's see the rest of the body cam footage before we jump to any conclusions. I know what I look like. He wasn't even giving me the George Washington tour. He was just telling me fucked up shit. He was talking about other people. He was like, Thomas Jefferson had about 6 slave children of his own. He only freed 2 of his own children during his lifetime. I was like, Jesus Christ. Isn't that a bummer? Thomas Jefferson literally enslaved some of his own children? Yeah. Now you know how I felt, dude. I was getting fucking drilled with this information. That's when I started playing possum a little bit. I was like, maybe I am a special needs guy. So he was hitting me with the fucking white guilt facts. I mean, it was a battle, dude. It was like 2 wizards fighting. Finally, I won by just lowering my mask. He was mid-rant. Oh, shit. My bad, brother. And he let me go. He freed me. That's when I went to the George Washington Museum. There's a museum there that as soon as you walk into that museum, they start pumping up George. You walk in, they're like, George Washington was a great man. You're like, I just came from his dungeon. But, I'm American. I'll forget about that part of his history. What else did he do, We're not going to let human trafficking define these guys, are we? I don't know. Anyway, I was in there. I was going through the museum. I'll admit, I had girl brain towards George from what I'd seen. I was still mad at him. I was going through the museum. I was like, George Washington, fucking asshole. Like, George Washington had red hair. I was like, ugly bitch. I was trying to be cool and liberal and hate him. I couldn't do it, dude. They started pumping up George. Got me going, dude. I was going through the museum. They're like, George Washington was 6'2". I was like, nice. Like, he could never tell a lie. I was like, this guy's unbelievable. Like, he single-handedly defeated the British. At this point, I'm back. No, dude, I'm worse. Nobody better touch my statues. I love statues. I'm ready to get on Facebook, defend Rittenhouse, whatever I need to do. to help this country get better. I'm back, 100%. Love America, love George Washington. And then you get to the end of the tour, and the last thing you see on the George Washington tour is George Washington's teeth in a case. And if the myth is George Washington had wooden teeth. Turns out George Washington it was ivory and lead dentures with horse and cow teeth on the top row and human slave teeth on the bottom row. Damn, what the fuck? That's it. That's how the tour ends. You gotta walk outside to a hot, sunny parking lot. Like, what the fuck was that? Also, lead with the teeth. Show me the teeth right away. Dude, don't make me love George Washington for 2 hours and at the very end be like, you wanna see some wild shit? And once you see his teeth, every story about him makes perfect sense. Like, he was a man of few words. It's like, yeah, dude, he had fucking donkey teeth and fucking lead in his mouth for a decade. You can't keep lead in your mouth for a decade. That would give you, for real, like rabies-like symptoms. You guys, like, I can't believe we defeated the British. So I know how we did it. We had a fucking 6'2", redheaded, retarded guy out in the woods just waiting for those motherfuckers, dude. 6'2" in 1770, that's like 6'10" today. Red hair, horse teeth, a sword, just... You want to tax me, motherfucker? You know how terrifying that guy was coming out of the woods? And just, some 5-foot British guy. Oh! Run, it's George! You ever see that painting of George crossing the Delaware? Standing. He's the only one standing on the rowboat. Everyone else is like, George, you got to get down. George, they're over there, get them! You know what happened that day when George crossed the Delaware? It was Christmas Day, and it was a bit of a massacre because George caught the British off guard because the British absolutely correctly assumed. They were like, only a retarded guy's going to try to cross this icy river today in a rowboat. Unfortunately for them, our first president was on the other side of that river. It's like, get in the boat, we got to kill these motherfuckers for...